Well, oh, that won't help. There you can see my fat belly. Hello, YouTube. Ugh. Well, day 26 of March. About 1 o'clock. Truck's lying to me and telling me it's 56 degrees, but it feels a whole lot more like 80. But maybe it's cool inside there. I don't know. Well, let's see. Let's backtrack a bit. We're sitting on the porch of the mobile home. This is kind of my command center as far as trying to have a place to rest between any small jobs I do. And let's be honest, I do 2 or 3 teeny tiny things and I gotta rest, and it's 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, who knows. Whatever happens, happens. You know, called rest as needed. And we know, of course, as 10 years ago I was supposed to be in a nursing home situation. So how this kind of works is I am on the no visit list, as far as I should not have visitors. But that's impossible to do, because if I want a cup of coffee, I have to go to a store or a gas station or somewhere to get it. I am not set up yet. I'm trying really hard to get set up, but it has been a process. The mobile home, the only thing it does is it provides me a way around building codes to live on the property. Not a way around building codes, because it's not going around them. It provides me the ability to meet building codes. That's what it provides me. I knew that when I saw the property online, that it did not matter the condition of the buildings or the mobile home. It did matter, but it mattered that it could potentially be restored at some point in time over a period of, a year and a half, 2 years, whatever it takes. I'm going to smoke a cigarette. I am a cigarette smoker, and I'm not going to hide the fact from YouTube. A lot of people do. I'll attempt not to smoke very often in videos, but I'm not hiding it. I'm not ashamed. I'd rather I didn't smoke at all, but it is what it is. I do. I've smoked since I was 12 years old. In another month and a few more days than that, I will be 57, so I am nearing 60. Old dogs is hard to teach a new trick. So, with that said, this probably makes me a non-family video, I don't know. Maybe. Kids don't smoke. It's bad, bad, bad news. I said I'd never pay. Cigarettes when I started cost 35 cents. I was 12 years old. I had this bright idea that I could quit anytime. I said I'll never pay over 50 cents for a pack of cigarettes. They're now around $6 a pack. I'm just saying. And when I left Oregon for Kentucky back in 1987, they were about $6 a pack, and when I got to Kentucky they were around $2 a pack. And I was real happy with that, so I wouldn't even want to know what they cost out on the east or west coast right now. Probably carton prices for one package, or close to it, or what they were back in 87 anyway. It would be a carton price for a pack now. So back to this mobile home situation. I came up here and I looked at the, I'm going to back up again. On March 7th, I started looking at properties again. And I do tend to use Zillow because it provides the most information for screening a property, And then I usually whip over to the tax assessor's website and look up the property there to see who owns it, what the building's conditions are, etc., etc. And, it gives a lot of information. Cabinetry work, which is your doors, windows, decks, you name it. Lets you know if they're rotting out or not. If it says below average, they're rotted and they leak, and you can pretty much guess that your windows and things are all going to have to be replaced, windows, door frames and things. They're all rotted out. Floor's probably going to be bad. Ceilings are probably going to be bad. That's just, it just goes with, it's the icing on the cupcake. It just happens. This mobile home, people stole the heater out of it. Matter of fact, the daughter may have sold it off her own self, and took the kitchen stove and oven out and sold that off. And they left the back door off when they did that. And the same thing, they left a hole in the ceiling when they took the heating unit out, whatever kind it was. And so, of course, rain came in and soaked the ceiling, and the ceiling fell in. And, well, it hasn't fully yet, but the floor did fall in because it also soaked the floor. So the floor has the entire extension sticking out of the trailer has fallen in. Now, I didn't see any of that it was a Saturday when I first saw the property online. And I called, it was probably about 11:30 in the morning. And I called the real estate agent. And to my shock, she answered the phone, like on the second or third ring. So I'm talking to her and I'm telling her I'd like to come out and see the property. And that I was planning to come out and see it anyway. But she was expecting me the first day, and I had to call back and say, well, I told her I had to check on my truck because I was having some truck problems. Number one. Hung up from her, called her back 5 minutes later and told her I'd take the property. And she was like, no, you need to at least go see it. But really, after studying for 5 years all these properties and actually having the money to be able to outright buy something and looking an additional 2 years during that period, I knew what I was getting. You know what I'm saying? I knew I was getting a bunch of buildings and that none of them would be usable. And to my surprise, the barn might be kind of have another 2 or 3 years in it. It's missing a whole side wall on the second floor facing the roadway. And it has some holes up in the roofing. Big gaps in the roofing. But it's missing a whole second floor wall on the outside for sure. And it's dirty and full of junk, but it's not overtly full of junk. It's probably got some stuff up in the second floor where they've put boards across, and used pallet flooring, and they got some kind of furniture up there, like a kitchen table and chairs or something. That's probably ready to fall. I wouldn't climb on it. I haven't really been in the barn since the second or third day I was here. The first day, I ended up not coming up until Sunday. Truck took 2 1/3 quarts of oil. And they led me to believe I had a leak somewhere, but apparently I did, but I didn't really. So then they led me to believe 2 days later that I required another quart, but they in fact had overfilled it by then, and it wasn't leaking. Let me think. So I made it up here Sunday night, but I never stopped to eat before I left home when I woke up that morning. So I came up Sunday night and I got up here around 6 o'clock. Got dark about 6:30. I stopped in Newport and grabbed a McDonald's cheeseburger, which I ate sitting parked in the driveway, and shared with some dog that looked a little abused. Not physically abused, but he was kind of had some swollen genital problems and looked like he might have been missing a major organ there. And he had a leg that seemed to be limping on. So, I was kind of a little afraid of him. He was pretty good sized, maybe a basset hound or something. But he was still a medium-sized dog. He was about knee-high or so. I don't know if you can see that in my hand, about knee-high. I'm sitting on a milk crate, by the way. I got some people coming up here, some kids. I'm going to have to turn the video off. But they're around 22 or so. And they live way on up the mountain. I loaned them a flashlight last night so they could walk home because they stopped and talked to me for too long and it got dark on them. And, let me see. So I looked at it on Sunday. I just walked up. It was like coming through a bear cave. And I walked up and I just looked in with a flashlight and I could see inside the building. And I went back to my truck and I went ahead, loaded up, and drove to Maryville. And y'all can come on up, but you might want to stay that side of the camera for a little while, and I'm just going to talk for a while, and then I'm going to turn it off so we can all talk. But you're cool. They can't see you. This is my first YouTube video for this property, and this time, out of my 4 or 5 attempts, this time I actually turned on the second on button. So all the other attempts, I never filmed anything, which kind of made me mad. And before we do too much work, I need to kind of film a before shot. So I came up, okay, so I got back in my truck on Sunday night, right after just looking in only one window, and I drove back down for like a full hour to Maryville. And I put my feet on the ground of the real estate office, and then I went to a motel, stayed the night there. And in the morning I got lost again and couldn't find my way back to the Maryville real estate office. But I found it, and I was there right as she was pulling in behind me, and we were talking, and she's like, I need to call you back. And I'm like, no, wait, because my phone, I didn't know if it was going to die. I only bought it that Saturday so that she and I could reach each other. So it wanted to update for 10 minutes, and I thought that might kill the battery, and I didn't know which door of this building to go in because there were like 5 or 6 different doors. And I was right there. Little do I know she's sitting behind me, though, but we determined which door and then hung up. But she wanted to hang up before I knew where to go. I was like, no, don't do that, because if it started updating and I don't know the phone, I don't know how to prevent it. And then I can't meet you. So anyways, we go in, I tell her I want the property. She calls up the owner accepts, and within 1 hour, we drove to, she called the title company. We found out how much they would charge for the title search and for good title insurance. And then I went to the bank and I pulled out a cashier's check, which she drove me to a branch office there of my bank. And I walked in and it was easier than getting a rent money order for the rent. I got a cashier's check for $34,000 plus to cover the title insurance and title search. And so I actually paid for the property in less than 24 hours after seeing it. And that was Monday morning on the 9th of March. And I'm going to pause here, but I wanted to get that much out to you, and I'm going to talk with my guests here for a little while. And they have already let me know a week or two back that they prefer at this point in time not to be on YouTube, though she does have a channel, and y'all might see her on her own channel someday soon. Y'all be looking for her. I'm trying to hook her. Okay, Anna out. Thank you.